The entire baseball community is mourning the loss of the legendary Brooks Robinson. Adam Jones, who was a longtime Baltimore Oriole, tweeted this out: "Was awoken to many texts about the passing of the great Brooks Robinson. Never have I met a human like Mr. Brooks. Represented Birdland until his final day. Rest easy, sir. You will be missed greatly by the entire baseball family. You did it the right way." Adam Jones, kind enough to be joining us now here on High Heat, all the way from Spain. He and his family are in Spain. And Adam, thanks so much for taking the time to be with us. What was the impression that Mr. Robinson left on you?
Just humility. I remember there's advice he gave me. He was like, live your life. You only get one of them. And as you see, I'm living in Barcelona, so I'm definitely living life to the fullest. But Mr. Robinson was just the epitome of the Oriole way. And you have to be an Oriole to really understand what that really means. You play the game the right way. You show up to work every day ready to play. Baltimore is a town that they care about one result: playing the game hard, and they respect that. And Mr. Robinson, who has an award named after him, and I said this: if you have an award named after you, you got to be pretty phenomenal. And I was fortunate enough to win that award in 2015, and it was one of the best awards I've ever received because he handed it to me personally. And to be able to see him around the ballpark for my 11 years there, and obviously before and after my time, it's a treat. And I know that Oriole fans are going to miss him because he was just the sweetest man and the easiest guy to approach. Signed as many autographs for anybody as possible, and just was a great guy.
Adam, what is the Oriole way? What did Mr. Robinson teach you about the way you were supposed to play in an Orioles uniform?
Well, my era was right after Cal's, so it was pretty cemented in how you show up and wear the black and orange. You play every day. You post. And Brooks was before him. And I got to know so many stories because Palmer, who was down on the field a lot more than Brooks, he just explained how this guy was prepared. He knew hitters. Like before the shifts and before analytics, he knew all these guys. He would jot down notes on who to play and how to play guys. He was a student of the game, but he also gave back his time. And especially in a generation where the money wasn't the biggest thing, the guys in the 60s, 70s that make the biggest dollars, he still gave his money and his time. And, what he sold, majority of his gold gloves, auction them off for charities. Like that's humility. I got 4 and I gave one to my brother and I gave a couple to my stepdad. Like, I'm not selling them. Like, these are different things. He sold them, and that just shows what kind of guy he is. It's like, it's a great possession. It's a great honor. And, somebody else would probably value this a little bit more than 16 of them sitting down looking at me.
Hall of Famer, obviously, in the Baseball Hall in Cooperstown, but certainly sounds like a Hall of Fame player as well. Adam, you were honored as a member of the Orioles for officially retiring back on September 15th. Take us through that emotion. I know that your wife and your sons were there. It was a big day for you, and it only made sense that Adam Jones retires as an Oriole.
Exactly. It only made sense. And I honestly, I'm just glad that I was able to share with my boys. They don't really remember too much of my Baltimore days. They see me now, the aches and pains, the cracking. They see that and hear that. They don't understand I used to get up and go get them with the best of them. They don't really remember that. So to be on that stage, and I always tell them, like, this video of you guys running out in the field now, you got 43,000 people watching you guys beat up on each other. And you know what? I'm going to show that at you guys' wedding, graduation, every single moment I can. I'm going to embarrass you guys, and I'm going to show this video. But overall, to be able to share it with my family, my friends, with Birdland, obviously the exit of Birdland wasn't as great as it could have been. But again, that's business. But big boy, put my big boy pants on, and you know what? It was just an absolute honor, and I'm extremely humbled to be able to officially retire as an Oriole, but to have ownership and everybody just the good graces of everybody. And also with my podcast, the Adam Jones podcast, they allow me to use their guys and get their guys often in order to make our podcast grow. So it's an Oriole-based podcast, obviously, but the Orioles have just been the best partner with getting the podcast going. So everything's come full circle. People always have, this way should have happened, this way should happen. Hey, it's business. we're both happy. The Orioles are playing great, heading into the playoffs. They got two as a magic number. They can clinch tonight. I mean, it's all good.
And that is a perfect segue. Look at you in the media world knowing exactly how to get to that next topic in your second life, your second career. What do you make of this first place Baltimore Orioles team, Adam Jones? Perhaps a little bit ahead of the curve in what people thought they were going to accomplish this year. But man, they have an opportunity to win the AL East and get to the postseason. What do you take away from this season?
I think they're the best story of this year. Every facet of it. Obviously, people had the biggest question marks. What's their pitching going to be like? What's the innings limit? The innings limit was the biggest conversation. June, July, they went to a 6-man rotation. Nobody spoke about it. They lose their closer, Bautista. You think, oh man, okay, they might falter. Nothing stopped. Grayson Grayson Rodriguez gets sent down, comes back, absolute stud, just starts dominating. Gunnar Henderson, probably the rookie of the year, has a slow first 2 months. Last 4 months, he's lying in line to get MVP nominations. I mean, from top to bottom, I think this is just the most athletic team I've seen in a very long time. They steal bases, they get on, they don't ground into double plays. They just play in a very exciting game. And when they get on bases, I was talking to Sabathia about this a couple weeks ago. He said, when the Orioles with them, you don't want to play them in the playoffs because when they get on base and anytime somebody gets on base in the playoffs, it's a rally. And you watch their games, there's somebody always on base, and 1 through 9, they can run. So they're putting the guys in motion nonstop. And, it's amazing. And, again, the fortunate part about it is with the podcast, the Adam Jones podcast, is we're able to talk with the Orioles guys and get them to loosen up a little bit. When you talk to the media, it's always, that was a great game. I did this. And you get back to the house.
These guys have a personality? Guys are allowed to have personalities, Adam?
Some of them. I try to loosen them up a little bit and just be like, hey, how was this? How was this? What do you like to eat for breakfast? You like pancakes? And just try to loosen the guys up and get their personalities out there because that's the cool part about sports and about social media is you can get some guys' candid opinions and candid personalities instead of I don't know, guys don't take too well to the media, but when you go to the podcast sector, I think guys loosen up just a little bit more.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, they have an opportunity, as you mentioned, magic number 2, to win the division for the first time since your 2014 squad, Adam Jones. Congratulations to all that you have achieved in your career, 11 seasons with the Orioles. Thank you for your insight on Mr. Brooks Robinson, and we hope to talk to you soon. Best of luck to Birdland in the postseason.
I appreciate it, and hey, go O's.